Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, it's your girl Letty, and we are back doing another video. Today's video is about Get Out, so let's go ahead and get out and get this done. Okay, let's go. Lakeith Stanfield is walking in the dark, and he's on the phone, and he's walking alone, and he's like, damn, where the hell I'm at? You got me walking in people's neighborhoods, like I don't even know where I'm at. As he's walking, a car is driving and it ends up doing a U-turn in the street and following him. He's sitting here walking, keeping up speed with the car. Boy, you done turned around too late. They about to snatch your ass up. And they do. Now we meet the characters, Chris and Rose, and Chris is packing. Apparently they're about to go to Rose's family's house for Chris to meet her family. And he's like, do these people even know I'm black? She's like, that's enough for me, baby. I will be staying here. Tell them to Skype me, Zoom me, FaceTime, something. This is giving, you need to stay your ass at home, sir. Now, they are on their way to Rose's family's house, and Rose is driving. Boy, she's chauffeuring you to your death. I don't know what you doing. But he pulls out a cigarette because he think he about to smoke, and she snatched that cigarette up and crumbled it like it was a cookie. He said, damn, you just crumbled up $1. She said, that's your money you decided to spend. Oh, wow. Okay. Now, Chris pulls out his phone and calls his best friend, Latrell. I forgot his name, but he called his best friend. We gonna call him TSA. TSA tells Chris, you ain't take my advice. And he said, what advice is that? He said, don't go to that white girl family house. What's wrong with you? And even though he was joking, he was telling the damn truth because we'll see. Now, they're driving and a deer jumps out in front of them. If that ain't a sign, I don't know what is. Now, the blood is only on Chris's side and the mirror is only broken on Chris's side. Now, they're talking to the police. I don't know why the police are here. I mean, they just hit a deer, so I guess that's just too normal from where I'm from. But then the police asked Chris for his ID. Rose said, he wasn't driving. That was like, anytime there's an incident, we ask both parties for their ID. She said, yeah, that's bullshit. Okay, but I already know what you about, so fuck you, Rose. Now, they pull up to the house, and the groundskeeper is there waving at them. And she's like, oh, that's just the groundskeeper. Huh? Blink twice if you need help, sir. Rose tells her mom and dad, oh my God, we've hit a deer. Her daddy say again, girl, how many deers are you out here hitting? Like, you just stacking up Bambis on top of Bambis? You just catching deer bodies? Did you at least turn them into jerky? I mean, I'm confused. They just let me know that you done did this little one too many times. Chris is inside and Rose's daddy is like, how long has this thing been going on? He say 4 months. Rose say 5 months. 5 months? That's it? Oh, hell. Y'all must be serious. As Rose's dad is showing Chris these photos of family members, which is, okay. They get to the kitchen and there's a housekeeper who is also black and her name is Georgina, and she's just standing there like an NPC, like she's just stuck on pause. And doesn't say anything, just stands there and stares. Like, that's 2 black people that just look absolutely stop. I'm sorry. Excuse my English, but, and then look, they come outside and the groundskeeper looking all crazy. Oh, you need to have your red flags up, sir, for real. They're at the table and they're talking to Chris and they're like, okay, well, what do your parents do? Turns out he don't have a daddy. And then his mother died from a hit and run when he was younger. And the mom's like, okay, we don't have to talk about this, but proceeds to tap a spoon on the side of her cup. Why do you need a spoon in tea that's already cold? It's not blended up, it's not mixed. You got a black lady in the kitchen. I know that tea hitting, girl. Chris is a little bit antsy because he ain't had his cigarette. But the daddy clocks it and is like, you smoke, Chris? That's a nasty habit. Shut your ass up. I don't even know you. I just met you an hour ago. Now, Georgina comes up and is bringing that good old Southern tea. And she is, refilling drinks like she's a damn waitress. And she gets to Chris and they're talking about Rose's grandmother. And as she's pouring the tea, she gets ahead of herself and keeps pouring the tea because she done zoned out. Rose's brother finally pops up. They're at the dinner table and they're talking and he drops some nasty ass tea about Rose. Rose used to clip her toenails, suck on them and keep them in a jar. Oh, hell no. This hoe nasty. And you kissing her all up in her mouth and she been sucking her own toes for years. The mom says she's about to go get dessert. She goes in the kitchen, opens the door. Why is Georgina looking at the door like this? Did her brain shut down? Did they forget to plug her up and charge her? Now the brother talking about he's dating my sister. I should be able to get to know him. You had your time, I want my time. So he started asking Chris, you like MMA? He like, oh, like UFC? He like, yeah. He like, too violent for me. The brother talk about did you get in the street fights as a kid? Chris said, I did judo after school in the 1st grade. And then they're like, okay, well, did you used to play like baseball, football? He said basketball. The brother talking about with your genetic makeup and with your genes. Hold up, what you talking about? And then he try to come over there and give him a hug or he just doing too much. Sit your little ass down. Look like you done rolled out of the bed and just got dressed and came, didn't even wash your ass. Chris is sleeping there next to Rose, and he like, you know what? Now's the time for me to sneak in this damn cigarette, because I've been feeling for this cigarette since we came down here. And as he's walking down the steps, Georgina just runs past like we watch it in cities. Then he go outside for a little cigarette, and he like, oh, okay, it don't look too bad out here. Then he turns and looks, and the groundkeeper is sprinting like he doing a 100-yard dash for the Olympics. He just stand there and let the man run towards him. He just sprinting. He go right on by. Then he look up and Georgina looking out the window again like she ain't got charged up. So he come in the house. The mama sitting there in the dark, turned on the light like, Chris, come sit down. Bitch, I'm going to bed. I don't know what y'all got going on up in here. She's sitting here asking him about his mama, like, oh, where were you when your mama died? He like, I don't want to talk about that. Here she goes, stirring some tea again. How much tea y'all drinking? Are y'all British? So she just stirring and stirring, and he just getting deeper and deeper into whatever the hell voodoo she putting out there. He didn't want to answer these questions, and now he answering them. Knock that tea out her hand and burn her damn leg, sir. Now she tell him sink into the floor. What floor? These hardwood? Girl, that's gonna hurt a little bit. Talk about sinking into the floor. But nevertheless, Chris sinks. I don't know why you sat down with this lady. She was already sitting in the dark. She was waiting on you. Chris wake up the next morning and he don't even remember anything. For real, like he wake up in the bed. How he get in the bed? So he go outside, he taking pictures. He look up at the window. He see Georgina fixing her little wig. She turn around real quick. Oop, jump scare. Now he see the groundskeeper. He go over there. He want to talk to him, black man to black man. And he like, hey, I never got to introduce myself. And he said, oh, I know who you are. You do? He said, oh, okay. Well, he said, yeah, I'm sorry about my little exercise last night. Chris said, what exercise? He said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. He's like, okay. Then the groundskeeper says, did it work? Chris said, did what work? He said, you was in Miss Letty's office for a while. Chris was like, oh, maybe we had wine or something. No, she wiped your memory. You don't even remember what happened. Last night was scary as hell. It's time to go. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Also, this would not be a Letty video if I did not roast this man. Look at him. Look like he bite bricks for a living. Sir, you could stick a crayon in between all them gaps. You look crazy. Now, when Chris pulls out a cigarette, he don't even want to smoke that shit no more. Now, he started talking to Rose, and he like, I don't even remember what happened last night. Apparently, I was in your mama's office, and she just brushing it off. Is you cool? Sir, if 1 + 1 ain't making 2, that means you need to dip. Right now. The family is about to have a quote-unquote party. We finna see how this go. Now, the party's starting. And shit is weird already, y'all. I'm really about to hang it up because I'm getting upset because he's not reading the signs. Now, he talking to this old man. He's talking about, oh, I love Tiger Woods. You ever played golf before? Let me see your form. That's quite a grip you got. You don't know no other golfers. Then we get to this lady. And she talk about something. He handsome. Ooh, look how he feel. She feeling all up on him. What the hell going on? They act like they finna buy him like he a damn cow at the butcher shop. Naturally, when black people see other black people in other functions and they're the only black people there, they're gonna go talk to each other. So he does that. He goes up to him. He's like, nice to see another brother here. Now, he turned around and it's Lakeith Stanfield. Yeah, from the beginning. Yeah, Now, he turned around and he looking about crazy as hell because where his facial hair at? Boy, out here looking like Phineas and Ferb. Lakeith is definitely under some type of spell. He's sitting here looking like Mr. Rogers after work. Chris said, I need to get up out of here. So he see a man sitting over there by himself and he go up to him and this man said, you know what? I'm a fan of your work. but he blind. How you see that? Now, he said that his assistant describes the painting to him. The assistant could be lying, sir. Now, I never noticed this. I've watched this movie like 3 times already. Chris comes in the house and he goes upstairs, and all the people that are downstairs talking immediately stops once he gets upstairs and starts looking creepy as hell. If that ain't creepy, if that ain't I need to get my ass up out of here, I don't know what is. Then he gets into the room and his phone is dead and unplugged. He remember plugging it up, he remember charging it, but somebody done unplugged his phone. Chris explains to Rose that he feels like something is off and somebody unplugged his phone, and she is basically gaslighting this man. Like, she knows what she's doing, obviously, because both of her parents are like basically psychiatrists. I know her mom is, and her dad is also some type of doctor that he does not mention. He could be the same thing. Now, Chris calls TSA and tells him what happened, and he like, boy, ain't you scared of this shit? They could have made you do anything while you was under. You talking about you cured from cigarettes? It's bigger things at play here. I'm happy that Chris has somebody in his corner that is like, something ain't adding up, something is going on, and you need to be aware of it. You need to make sure that you're on guard. Like, you getting too comfortable around these people. Here comes Georgina. She don't even say nothing. She basically make Chris piss himself, okay? He turns around and she's like, listen, I need to apologize because as I was cleaning, I bumped your phone and unplugged it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Somebody did something and you taking the blame for it. Because I already know you ain't got nothing up there in that head. You blank. Chris tells Georgina, when there's a lot of white people around, I get a little nervous. And Georgina looked like she is battling within herself because she starts crying. She looks like she wants to say something. She gasps and Chris jumps back. And then it's like something just comes back and takes over her. Chris, I want to smack you upside your head. Because you should be out the door. You should be calling an Uber or something. Was Uber even out in 2017? I don't even know. You need to call somebody. Chris comes downstairs and the dad has a group of people surrounding the door. And they're like, oh, this is so-and-so and so-and-so. And he's like, okay, that's too many names. But hey. Then Mr. Miyagi comes up and he's like, oh, what is the African-American experience like? And that's whenever Chris is like, I don't know. So he sees Lakeith Stanfield and he's like, oh, they're asking me about the black experience. Maybe you want to chime in and, answer that. And Lakeith talking about the black experience, it's all right. I find that I don't have much time to get out of the house. That's when Chris snaps a picture of him, hits that flash, and something snaps in Lakeith Stanfield. His nose starts bleeding, and he run up to Chris, and he like, get out of here. Chris, I don't understand why you haven't left yet. This man specifically told your ass to get out of here, to run. You still sitting here with Where's Waldo? Chris and the whole family are sitting there and they bring in Lakeith Stanfield and he apologizes for his behavior of what just happened and claims that it was a seizure caused by the flash from the phone. Chris and Rose go walking and Chris tells her, listen, my cousin epileptic. That was not a seizure. She talking about my dad's a neurosurgeon. Now we figure out what kind of doctor he is. Your daddy a neurosurgeon and your mama a psychiatrist. Oh, hell no. We go back to the house and they're holding some type of auction. There's Chris's picture on a poster. They're auctioning off Chris. Rose saying that her and Chris is going for a walk was all a ploy to get him out of there so they can do their bidding. They're trying to buy Chris. This is not 1790. We're not doing this no more. I would like to mention that Chris does say that he wants to get up out of here and she's like, oh, without me? And he said, whatever you want. 5 minutes later, they kissing, they making up. Chris, you weak as hell. If you feel like something going on, you need to get up out of there. You need to get up out of there. And that's for anybody. If you feel like something going on and you feel like your intuition is telling you to leave, you need to go. I don't know what you're waiting around for. Scooby-Doo and the gang is not coming to save the day. When they finally get back to the house, it's nighttime. Damn, how long was y'all out there at the creek? Now they walk up and everybody's smiling. Ain't nothing funny around here. Now the brother playing the ukulele and it's making me think about Sinners. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, pause the video and go watch it. What are you doing? Now they get up in the house and the vibes are off. Chris, you're pissing me off. Okay, you're pissing me off. Chris ends up sending a picture to TSA of Lakeith Stanfield. TSA immediately calls him and is like, that's Dre. He like, who is Dre? Andre, we know he's kicking with Veronica. And that's whenever he like, oh my God, I knew him. Because earlier he did say that he feels like he knows Lakeith Stanfield. And that's why. Why are you still there? Here come Where's Waldo talking to, like, girl, get your ass on somewhere. Enough is enough. Stop it. Where's Waldo is standing there and Chris is like, we gotta pack our stuff. We gotta go. She ain't going nowhere. She at home with her mama, daddy, and brother. You pack your stuff. You get out. Matter of fact, leave your stuff. Ain't nothing there. I seen the clothes that you done packed. Just leave them. Now, what's crazy is a closet door is open, right? And he go up in there. He come like there's a red box sitting there. He opens the red box and there's pictures of Rose with all these black people. He gets to a picture of Rose and Georgina. See, Chris, right now you have already pissed me off to the point where I'm like, damn, if you die, you die. Because you should have been. Surprise, surprise, Rose can't find the keys when it's time to go. Then he get downstairs and the brother is blocking the door, and then here come the mama coming out with her little cup. Knock that shit out, beat the brother up, put the daddy in the headlock, punch Rose in the throat, and go. The daddy's over there in the corner, and the brother comes up with his little stick or whatever. And that's whenever Chris tries to rush him, but the mama taps the spoon against the cup 3 times, and Chris fall back like he dead. See, I told you about 15 minutes ago you should have left, but here we are. I want to say that TSA is a good friend. He actually goes over to Chris's house after work to see if Chris is there, and even to feed his dog, and Chris is still not there. That's when he gets the tingles and he like, something ain't right. It's always good to have somebody like that in your corner. TSA ends up looking up Lakeith Stanfield. His name is Andre Hayworth. He looks him up on Google and finds out that he has went missing. Yeah, shit getting crazy, and that's when TSA is like, my boy is in trouble. Now Chris wakes up in a room and he is tied down in a leather chair and he is sweating. I would have been sweating because shit ain't been right since we got here. While he's in this room, a TV cuts on, and that's whenever he sees Rose's grandpa talking about something about coagulating. I don't give a shit about what y'all talking about. Shit crazy. I'm trying to get up out of here. Now, after the video cuts to a screen of a cup stirring, Chris passes out. We skip to TSA, and he comes inside of a, I want to say FBI, I don't know. I just know her as Maxine from Living Single, but he comes in with Chris's dog, and he's like, my homeboy is missing, something going wrong. She's sitting here eating sunflower seeds or peanuts or something. She don't believe nothing this man is saying. The detective ends up bringing up 2 more detectives in to hear TSA's story. And, you know, he's thinking, okay, they about to help me find Chris, whatever. No, they laugh at this man in his face, and he knows that something is wrong with his friends. You know what? I would sue their asses as soon as Chris came back home. Oh yeah, I'm suing the whole department. Cha-ching, cha-ching. TSA ends up calling Rose and is like, where is Chris at? And she talk about something he left 2 days ago. He got all freaked out. He wanted to leave. He know that this lady is lying like hell. Notice how Rose is trying to put on these emotions, but look at her face. Straight as hell. She shows no emotion because she don't give a shit. She done did this plenty of times. Her parents, her family is hoeing her out to get these people in so they could capture their bodies. Here come Rose talking about some, I know what this is about. You want me. TSA say, hell nah, Chris is my boy. I don't want you. She like, I remember you. You was looking at me. You was checking me out. TSA said, I was not checking you out. I was trying to see what you look like. But anyways, we see that her family is sitting there staring at her while she's on the phone call. We get back to Chris and the TV turns on, and you remember that blind man that says that he's a fan of Chris's work? He's sitting in a hospital bed. Turns out he supposed to get in Chris's body. He ends up telling Chris that what happens is whenever I get in your body or somebody else gets in your body, there's only going to be a sliver of you left. And the only thing you're going to be able to do is watch from afar. You're not going to have any type of consciousness. You'll be able to see and hear what goes on, but you have no say-so in what your body is doing. AKA Georgina, the groundskeeper, and Lakeith Stanfield. Chris is like, well, why black people? Why you picking black people? Why you don't want to be Chinese, Japanese, Hawaiian? Rose's dad and her brother are about to perform this procedure. They're cutting into Mr. I See Art and I'm Blind man's head. The brother coming there to put Chris in a wheelchair to wheel him back in there to get his consciousness stole. But he wasn't paying attention and he thought that Chris was knocked out. So when he unhooked Chris took these balls and went upside that man's head. Turns out Chris put the stuffing from the couch in his ears so he couldn't hear the cup spoon thingamajigger. He's smart. The dad comes out and he's like, damn, where Jeremy at? He supposed to have brought Chris in here about 5 minutes ago. He looking around, he ain't paying attention. Here come Chris with that deer that was on the wall and he puts the antlers through the daddy. After that, Chris goes to the kitchen and Georgina is downstairs knitting and she gets scared because he has all this blood on him, so she runs away. He tries to get his phone and he sees that Rose's mom is in her office. And she tries to go for her cup, but Chris smacks that shit on the floor, which he should have been did. Now she tries to stab him and she ends up stabbing him in the hand. And that's when he uses his hand to stab Rose's mama in the eye. Goodbye. Now, I thought the brother was dead, or at least he would have knocked some common sense into him, but the brother comes out and immediately puts Chris in a chokehold. Chris tries to get out of the house, but this chokehold is chokeholding. Chris ends up stabbing the brother in the leg and curb stomping him on the floor. Puts that man out. And I'm so glad that he did because we're getting up out of here. I knew that Rose was crazy because why are you eating Fruit Loops with milk on the side? It's never that serious. She online looking for basketball prospects. Chris gets in the car, he finally gets the keys and he starts driving and Georgina throws herself in front of the car. Girl, what are you doing? Now, instead of rolling Georgina to the side and continuing on with his business, he decides to put her in the car and drive off. Now, one thing about it, Georgina is not Georgina. She's not herself. She is somebody else. So she immediately causes Chris and herself to crash, which makes her head go through the window. You dummy. Here goes Rose, and she has a damn shotgun, and she's trying to shoot at Chris. Girl, I hope you get got in the worst way. Mr. I Bite Bricks, the groundskeeper, immediately runs and chases Chris down, and his hat comes off and you can see that he has a scar on his forehead from when they did the transfer. Chris ends up pulling his phone out and putting the flash on. Remember when that happened with Lakeith and he snapped out of it? Chris does the same thing. Because Chris used the flash, he has snapped out of it, so the groundskeeper asks for the shotgun from Rose. She gives it to him and he ends up shooting her in the stomach. Also turns the gun on himself, which is messy. Rose is still alive, so Chris goes over there and she talking about something. Chris, I love you, it's me. As if she wasn't just reaching for the shotgun to try to shoot him again or shoot at him again. Chris ends up trying to choke Rose and he can't do it. Boy, if you don't put her lights out. Now, a police car, or what we assume is a police car, pulls up and here go Rose talking about something. Help me. No, just go ahead and die, boo. We see that the door opens and it says airport. That is TSA and he came to save the day. Chris gets in the car and he's like, how did you find me? And TSA said, I'm TSMFA. We handle shit. And Rose ends up dying, so... Goodbye, good riddance. I hope he lives a happy life. I know he's gonna probably need some therapy, but I would stay far away from that shit because of what just happened. Anyways, that was Get Out. Let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments. What were your thoughts when you first seen it? What are your thoughts now? Let's talk about it below. It's your girl Letty, and we'll be back quicker than you can say abracadabra.